Another video where we break some more things. What a mistake gonna make, huh? Where's my safety split for my jack? Oh, you don't need it.
For some reason I start to glide over the ground like a Jedi. Look at that. Wow, great.
It's the donut ratchet.
That's real nice.
Away with those. Today's video, we're gonna try to fix intake leak. We're gonna try to fix your fuel problem, rust getting in the filters and stuff. So pull out the tank. I don't know. And then also wiring. Don't you love it? It's a shipping crate. It's a mopar. We gotta do some wiring. And this is Project Money Pit. Look at that suspension travel. That's the ride height we want right there. Big off-road guy. Where's my safety split for my jack? Oh, you don't need it. You don't have to worry about safety. We can just put the jack stand right underneath the old gas tank. As you can see, it's been dripping. That's because I never really got around to tighten one hose clamp again.
I'm explaining something about the center unit here. As you can see, the filter's missing and the float. And then for some reason I start to glide over the ground like a Jedi. Look at that. Wow, great.
So we've got all the vent tubes over here because this is a 73 mopar, so it got all this smog thing going on. And in there, that's all the gasoline. And if you can see right down there, that's the old float hanging out. I don't know if you guys can see that, but
well, there you go. Everything's put back in with a new fill filter. Ready to get filled up with rust again. It's fine. Again, if you squint, it's mint, right? Look at this. Lowering installed. New lowering springs. New shocks, new coils. Still going lower. Still going lower. And there you go. Probably tell in video even. The leaf spring is about dead straight right now. And after I go out and drive up the road a little bit, it's most likely gonna lower even 1 to 2 inches more. And the leaf spring starts doing this. Going the opposite way. Maybe that's why it accelerates so good out of the road. Because the pinion snubber is literally like 2 mils off the floor. So as soon as you hit it, it just snaps right up on the floor, you know. It's a drag racing hack if you didn't know. Put in some shitty leaf springs and you get all the launch control. First of all, looks real nice and cleaned out here. Was hoping kind of to see some kind of like vacuum leak or something, you know, down here by the end of the intake ports or something. Also, I checked oil after our test drive now, which has probably been around, I would guess like 100 kilometers or something. The oil stick is all the way down at like the add line or whatever, add oil, which is kind of concerning because it has great oil pressure. There's no blow-by of what I've seen anyhow, and I haven't really seen it smoke out the exhaust any times. A few times when I started the thing up, but I thought that was probably fuel because it's like drowning and the whole carburation situation, you know. So I don't know, I'm kind of curious where that, I guess like 1 quart of oil has gone. I'm gonna keep looking at that dipstick next time we're gonna drive it and see if it falls further down, if it's just gonna stay at add or... But yeah, I was kind of expecting and hoping to see some kind of leak down here, but what I'm gonna do now is take the intake manifold, lay it on the block without any gaskets, without anything, and see how good the intake angle is to the head. Because if the heads have been milled or the intake has been milled and stuff like that, there's a chance that the intake might have a more shallow angle than the heads, or the other way around. So it has, instead of like touching all the way around the intake, it might only be touching at the top, and then there's a gap here in the bottom. I don't know. But I'm definitely gonna get a new valley pan. By the way, look at the old bump stick down here. That's a hefty lobe right there. Almost look like it's just grinding right into that flat tap lifter. I don't know how much lift this is, but it's definitely on the other side of 500. So this thing is just heavy as hell. I could rest it here on the Valance panel and get some free patina, but I'm gonna go over here. Yeah. A little bit to the low side maybe. So that should be perfect with like, once the gasket is there, raises it up a little bit. Vacuum leak on the intake side? Probably not. Then I really don't have an answer. Okay, this is a brand new, and I really mean brand new wiring harness. And I've seen a video with a Dead Dodge Garage, right? He talks about this connector up here is usually a bad thing on these new harnesses. And I thought, yeah, sure, that might be a problem. So I started wiggling around this, right? And it made it charge, like on, off. And I tried like multimeter or whatever down here at the alternator if that was getting 12 volt. Now it wasn't, and then I started touching this, then it got 12 volt, then not 12 volt, then 9 volts, you know, 8 volts and whatever, like very inconsistent or whatever. So okay, I took all the insulation off, and then I saw this weird U-turn wire right here, right? So they literally just put 2 pieces of copper on top of each other and tape around it, and the only thing like making the connection was electrical tape, which by the way was kind of loose or whatever. So watch out for your new wiring harness. It's a terrible connection, right? I got ignition on right now. Battery is exactly 12.6 volts. And let's see, it says 11.2 here, right? If I remove this wire, there you go, 0 volts. But anyway, that's the culprit. What a mistake did I make, huh? Chinese wiring harness. Great. So I'm just gonna fix this, put on a new soldering or connection or something. I'm not really sure how I'm gonna fix it actually, but I'm gonna figure something out to do a little connection there. So as you all know, last video we got the DeWalt rotisserie restoration of the chicken in my mouth thing going on. I have a new invention in this video. It's the donut ratchet. So while you're wrenching down here, testing if your generator bearing is good or whatever, then you can just stop, you know. Take a bite, rotate that baby for a new bite, and you're ready to go. The next guy who's gonna grab the wrench, he might gonna look at it a little bit weird. Parts have finally arrived. Here's the few things that we're gonna need to fix this car. This is for the headers, and I'm probably also gonna use it on this gasket right here. It's Permatech Right Stuff, or a version of Right Stuff, whatever, which can withstand up to 700 Fahrenheit. So that's great. Also for the exhaust bolts and stuff like that. Then for the exhaust itself. As you guys know, the first startup video, whatever, I think like after 15 minutes or something, you could actually hear header leaks if you really listen careful. And then the next video where we actually drove the car and drove it out of the shop, you could clearly hear when the car was backing up, and from the front of the car, the camera, you could really hear like chick, 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 chick. It's just not cool, okay? Header leaks is like the worst. Actually, exhaust leaks in general is like the worst sound ever. This is a company called REM, or REM Flex, I guess. Made in America, and this is graphite gaskets. And I don't know if you can see this, but these are some thick bars right here. But the thing is also, they're really soft, and they're really fragile, by the way, too. So take care when you install these, you don't bend them or something. They're gonna get destroyed real quick. And I'm pretty sure they're also one-time use, so if you take your headers off again, I'm not really sure if you can use them again. I don't know. But what the deal is with why they're so thick and made out of graphite is they compress now. As you can see, they have a picture right here where they show how much it compresses. Apparently an 1/8 of an inch. Is that how much it compresses? I don't know. And it's good for 3000 Fahrenheit, so that's great. And of course, because they can compress, they can seal into all these like bent header flanges and the pitted areas and stuff like that. So that's a great deal. Also, I went with the gasket, which has the exhaust cut out, blocked or whatever, because we don't need to heat up our intake more than it already is, because it's not a winter car anyway. Okay, so as you guys saw, this master cylinder from Wilwood was done. And the only theory I had was I have used this without brake fluid while building my linkage and stuff like that, testing it, you know. So my theory is maybe the 2 O-rings inside and the piston got twisted around and the piston started hitting metal, or I don't know. I literally have no idea. I bought a new one and it's already installed. Because, I don't know, it wasn't that interesting to film, I guess. But I installed a new one, and I clearanced the inner fender a little bit to make sure the master cylinder is correct, in line, and everything. And I've mounted it up now. I've done a little bit less angle on the American Powertrain bracket thing. I clearanced the inner fender, and then I twisted up the master a little bit more, so it's not in as a rough angle. But literally right now, the pedal and everything goes in like one nice direct line. And when I press the pedal inside, all the way from a home position and to fully engage, it doesn't hit anything, it doesn't bind anything. And then of course I also pre-filled it with brake fluid, so it's not dry system or anything like that. So I don't know, I have nothing else to say, but to send it and see how long it's gonna last. So what I'm gonna do is take a razor blade, I think, and then a vacuum cleaner down under, so it can suck up everything that I accidentally maybe drop down into the lifter valley. I think that's the best case here. So I'm just gonna do that, and then I'm gonna return in a bit. Away with those. So as you just saw mid-install, we threw away those intake gaskets or whatever, because they made the intake sit too high, and then one side of the intake bolts couldn't thread into the heads or whatever. So yeah, which you kind of already expected a little bit, but I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, got the valve pan silicone all around on both sides, just in case. Everything torqued to spec. And then I guess in a few hours or whatever, I'm gonna try to start it up maybe. Right now I'm gonna go down below and just flush out hydraulic throttle bearing real quick. Get the rest of the fluid, of the old shitty fluid out. Then I'm gonna do the whole pink Floyd bleeding method. Okay, there you go. Flushed out the hydraulic throttle bearing. There was a lot of nasty grayish, metalish brake fluid, so that was a good thing, getting that out. So now what we're gonna do is put on a playlist on your old YouTube, you feel me? And then just sit in there and pump it, you know, leg day workout. So let it rip. Hey guys, welcome back. It's the next day, and hopefully this silicone has been dried off. Oh, that's dry. That's real nice. Let's give it a shot. I'm gonna try to prime the fuel pump and see if the float holds, because I adjusted the rear one, because it was just dumping in the rear. Stuck in first gear. Header leak. Now those new rim gaskets, let me tell you, they did exactly what they said they would do. 50% compressing gasket, because they're so thick, right? When you buy them, you stick them in between the head and the manifold, and then it squishes down like to, I guess, 50% as the package says. And it has like a really nice seal, and I can't hear any header leaks right now. I'm actually starting to hear a little bit leak down from behind the car now, because it's so quiet up here. So that's how great those work. Also, the Permatex Right Stuff 700 Fahrenheit gasket maker thingy, whatever, on header bolts, it's not leaking yet. Well, the car haven't really got up to like proper operating temperature, and the whole engine like heat soaked on a 100 Fahrenheit day and whatnot. So I'm still, you know, pop up on that one. I'm not sure yet, but so far so good. Water's not pouring out of the heads like it did first time I fired this thing up with absolutely no sealer. It was literally just spraying out one of the cylinders. I was like, what? Is the cylinder head cracked? But no, it was just the good old Mopar big block exhaust bolts that was spraying some water. I also put in a new pistol grip shifter. I had two shifters, which maybe you guys didn't know, but I put in the new one, which has a little bit more like wood grain and darker wood on it or whatever. You know, it's still plastic, it's Mopar, nothing was real wood. But here's something fun I want to show you guys real quick. I took the old one off, right? And first of all, I was like, holy shit, there's like a ant's nest inside of it or something. I don't know. This is an original 1973 Dodge Challenger pistol grip shifter that has never been taken apart. Look at this. So I didn't know about this. By the way, these are the intake gaskets we didn't use on the roadrunner. Look at this. It's like insulated on the inside. I don't know if this is factory, but it looked pretty fractured when I took it apart. There was more inside of it, but apparently the sound dampening or something to the shifter. So this was pretty much sitting around the stick like this, right? And then it was just filled up with this, probably asbestos. So I probably shouldn't touch it, but that's kind of cool. So what I'm gonna do now is, you guys saw in the last video we did some front end mods on this thing. We painted the headlight covers black on the inside, and then we mounted the grille and cleaned that up a little bit because it was really dirty. It almost looked great. But what I want to do now is actually take out the grille, paint this chrome piece black, like the headlights. These silver lines, accent line inside the grille, paint those black as well. And I'm also gonna paint black here on the inside of the headlight. So we're gonna try to do that. I also adjusted the headlights because last time I was out driving, we kind of got caught in the dark times out on some highways where there was no street lighting, and even with the high beams on, I could barely see like 100, maybe 50 meters out in front. So adjusted those bad bars a little bit up, you know. I'm just gonna move the car back a little bit, and then you guys can just hear the exhaust real quick. Because this sounds nice now. Now it's just like one nice even note, no like from the engine bay and stuff. So that's really cool. Still got ground wire there? Yes. Felt like it was only running on 7 cylinders there. Maybe it's the same as last test drive where we lost the cylinder. Yep, we lost the cylinder, boys. I'm gonna have to fix that. Apparently cylinder number 1, 2, 3 on the passenger side just keeps falling off. I don't know why. Well, I say keep falling off. It fell off one time on a 100-mile test drive, and apparently just now, for some reason, it fell off again. So. Oh, I totally forget. I gotta show you guys real quick. Not show. Listen real quick. Let's just say like this. I wired up the Roadrunner horn. That's pretty neat. Well, got 7 cylinders, but I got a horn that works. By the way, this is just VHT epoxy paint, and it's satin black, not shiny black, you know? So I'm not gonna lie, I messed up a little bit about the masking. I don't know why I thought I had to mask that way. I had to mask this way. So I kinda gotta grind this triangle away. Guys, the front end is back on, and I gotta say, this looks great. But it looks so great that now I honestly really want to paint the surrounding areas or whatever on the light bezels, because that silver just like pops right in your face right now. The only thing that's a little bit annoying, as you can see here in the lightning, is the lower chrome piece inside the grille that I painted black. Because it has the angle that it has, the light kind of reflects on it, so it kind of looks like it has another, I guess, like shine of black than the rest of the grille and light bezels and stuff, but oh well. So last clip you guys saw, we got the front end back on the vehicle, and now doing the lower valence panel. It's a new day, by the way. So I got down to the auto store, gold spray paint. So what I'm gonna do right now is this panel, by the way, is in really rough shape. And in the perfect world, you know, restoration world, we should definitely get a new lower valence panel. As you can see, this thing has been like stitch welded together. It's been welded here, there's a weld there, stitch welds in there, there's weld here. Then we have a big seam right here where it was cut up and welded. So pretty much this part is the only thing that's like original and nice, and everything to the right here is unoriginal, patched up or fixed up or something. You can even see it's also welded down here. What I'm gonna do right now is air gun, get most of this, like, as you can see, this stuff like sandblasting dust off. And we're gonna hit it with a brake cleaner, and then we're gonna hit it with black epoxy paint on the inside and gold on the inside and clear coat on the inside, so it kind of matches the look of the inside of the engine bay. When you look down, when the hood or whatever, when the bonnet is open, you can look down here in between the valance and the radiator support, and you will be able to see that panel. So I kind of want the same new color in here, and then patina color or whatever out here. So out here I'm not gonna do the black epoxy paint. I don't think so anyhow. Maybe I might, I don't know. But we're definitely not gonna hit it with clear coat, because we want to match it up to the rest of the car that is faded, torn down, patina, whatever. Got the front end back on, the grill and all that painted and stuff, and I think it looks pretty damn cool. Now I still really want to do the thing as I talked about in the, I think last video, maybe also this video, about painting the gold, the silver trim around the bezels here gold, so it kind of looks like the front end goes all the way out to the headlights. I've also been playing around with ideas of actually removing the whole headlight bezels and make like a more deep Challenger, whatever front end look on it. This is definitely the biggest dilemma with the 73 roadrunners for me or whatever, is the front end. Like, it just needs something to make it look cool, you know? Like the 71 whatever has like the best mopar front end that probably is out there. Like it's the coolest front end, right? The rest of the car on a 73 is much cooler in my opinion. It doesn't have the weird body lines down here and stuff like that. It still has this stupid body line in the rear quarter, but it's definitely not as bad as on the 71 and 72 models. But anyway, it looks cooler, it looks better. I also put in a loose light right now to fill out that ugly hole they have welded up and grind down and stuff. So yeah, there will be a video coming up soon where I'm gonna try to see if we can finally get this idle problem fixed. And I'm starting to lean against it being too big of a cam, that we need too much timing at idle, but then it has too much timing total. Or maybe we need to do some air bleeds in the throttle blades, which is probably the first thing I'm gonna try, because this is just an old, cheap, shitty Holley carburetor. So I'm gonna try to drill some holes in the butterflies, and if that doesn't work, I guess we're gonna try to crank up the ignition a little bit more and see how much ignition we can run without having too much total ignition. Yeah. That's going to be the next upgrade / next video thing going on.